Hi, I'm Jared.
And I'm David.
And this week on Hood Slappers, we're going to be reviewing the 2025 Audi Q7.
Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.
You'll dent it.
The Audi Q7, Audi's first ever SUV, paving the way for the German brand's current SUV lineup that consists of 6 others to choose from. And this year, the 2025 Q7 received a bit of a facelift. Now, just to be clear, this isn't one of those American celebrity facelifts that make you completely unrecognizable. No, this facelift keeps things relevant and fresh because Audi isn't the only one with the luxury SUV lineup, and they know that. They've been in this business for a long time. Dating back to the early 90s, when you thought of luxury SUVs, there were only 2 names that came up in conversation: Range Rover and Jeep. It wasn't until the 2000s when luxury car brands seemed to realize there was a market for this kind of vehicle. So, one by one, brands like Audi, Mercedes, and BMW all manufactured their own idea of what a luxury SUV should be. Even Porsche wanted in, a brand once touted for their austere stance on what a sports car should be. Even they had succumbed to the pressure of the rising SUV.
Well, my granddad doesn't like it.
What?
Granddad, he doesn't like it.
Why?
I think he's mad at the Germans.
For World War II?
No. Oompa music. His old college roommate used to play it non-stop. He's still got PTSD.
Well, that's understandable, but what about the Q7 itself?
He says it's too comfortable, it's too nice, and too cheap.
Well, he's not wrong about that.
And he's not a big fan of you either.
What?
When looking at the 2025 Audi Q7, I can certainly see Granddad's point. It is too nice. As Jared mentioned, it's not a major redesign. In fact, since its North American debut in 2007, it's had 2 major upgrades, except with minor adjustments in between. But in 2025, Audi has given it a facelift, which is just what it's done with a blepharoplasty and a rhinoplasty. I mean, it updated the headlights and gave a facelift to the fascia.
Audi has also performed a gluteal augmentation to the rear of the Q7, once again exposing their exhaust.
You know, in any other context, that would sound very weird.
You're probably right about that. This also gives the Audi Q7 a chance to show off Audi's all-new Lego.
No, it says logo.
Logo? Ah, man, my eyes are as bad as your granddad's. Hey, where is he, by the way?
I think he took off for a nap.
Oh.
He is right, though. This is too nice. The Q7 has added a few new colours to its palette and new rim options.
Now, Audi did spend most of his time at the drafting table working on the exterior of the car, and even though the interior looks very familiar, this minimalist look still withstands the test of time.
Well, we found Grandad.
Oh, is that his teeth in the cup holder? Ensconced in soft touch materials, the Q7 adds a layer of luxury to the already comfortable and stylish interior. Audi continues their minimalist theme while still offering a lot of options, but also a lot of space.
So if you've seen our show before, you know we like to test out the 3rd row to see if it's suitable for real life. So now Jared is going to go in the back and test it out.
Well, hold on a minute. Why me? I hate getting in the back seats of 3rd row.
Okay, well, let's take a vote, shall we?
Okay.
All those who vote that Jared goes in the back seat, raise your hands. Okay, that's 2. 3. And all those opposed?
All right, well, let's see if Granddad's right about this being too comfortable. Well, it's pretty tight back here, but that's for most 3rd row SUVs anyway. These seats are usually reserved for children. It's not the most comfortable, but I can't say the same thing about the rest of the interior.
With standard features like a moonroof, leather, digital cockpit and heated seats, this all seems rather boring, bringing nothing more to the table than a basic mid-range Tiguan would. But the more you spend on a Q7, the better it gets.
Now, here's a list of a few things you can add to your Q7 to make it a little more interesting. For $2,500, you can add their night vision assist to the Q7 that will help you see what's in front of you better at nighttime. $4,300, you can purchase the luxury package, and that will give you special seats, including massaging seats, passenger memory, as well as an air quality package. And for $5,700, you can have a Bang & Olufsen 3D sound system with 23 speakers.
23 speakers? In my entire life, of all the cars, stereos, and radios, everything I've owned, I don't think I've had 23 speakers combined. Never mind all in one car.
Well, the trailer hitch package, that seems quite reasonable. It's $750.
If you want to add to the comfort as well, you can add air suspension or 4-zone climate control.
Well, it is too nice, and it is too comfortable, despite that third row being a bit tight, but I don't see why your granddad thinks it's too cheap.
I think he means price.
Oh, well, he wouldn't be wrong, because with the Q7 starting at just under $79,000, you can get this, a Honda Civic, and a top-of-the-range refrigerator, and still be less than its direct competitors, the Mercedes GLS and the BMW X7.
So are we just giving up on names now? Q7, X7?
Oh, I know what you mean, but now it's time to go for a ride, David, and we'll talk about what didn't change, a few did-you-knows, and we'll answer your questions.
Okay, just remember, Granddad gets car sick if you go over 50.
Oh. Well, David, here we are in the 2025 Audi Q7, and I want to know your first impression.
My first impression, I feel fancy in this car.
Is this
Jared.
the fanciest car?
It's very fancy. I feel like I'm on the Titanic and I'm in the first class compared to driving from my car I usually drive into this. I feel like I'm upgraded.
Your car right now would be the third class?
Yeah.
You would have been last one of the lifeboats?
Yeah, with me and the reps. I've never had this, the seatbelt just tightened on me, tightened itself. I was like, what just happened there?
This
I feel
is
like
a
I'm
new
in 50
world.
Shades of Grey. Like,
Why do I have to be here for that?
What about you? What do you think?
I think it's a great car, and I'll say this, you know, you do a lot of research on these cars, and the research, it was just kind of ho-hum. There was nothing great. You look at photos, you look at video, and you think, okay, I guess it's all right. Now that I'm driving it, now that I'm sitting in it, I think of it, it's like a hot tub. When you get inside of a hot tub, you know, it's not just the water, it's not just the bubbles, it's a whole experience that makes it a moment. And I think the Q7, every little bit about this car, when you're in it, it is a moment of, this is actually a very nice car to drive. It feels comfortable, as we said already. And I think those videos, photos, reviews don't do this justice. If you are in the market for a Q7, I would say go drive one. I think you'll be a lot more impressed than anything you can possibly read or see online. What
do you think, Grandad? What do you think of the car so far?
I think it's a lovely motor. I've always liked them.
Yeah?
Definitely, yeah. I've also admired Audi. I'm not kidding here now, this is genuine stuff. I've always liked Audi. I know they're good motors. They're well made. Everything. They're German, aren't they?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you, Jared, what's with the Audi number codes from 30 to 70 and all that?
Yeah, you know what? It's got to be some Zodiac German thing. It's just a way to make things more complicated. This is a 55, I think, and the 2-liter is a 45, but I don't even care.
I'll find out.
Right.
We'll get to the bottom of this. Okay.
Please do.
Hold on. 30 is 109 to 128 horsepower.
Yeah.
35, 147 to 160. 40, 167 to 201. So all the way up to 70, which is 536 and more.
So this is for purists, the guys who live and breathe Audi.
I feel like I'm doing algebra right now. I don't know what I'm doing.
Hey, who's interested in that stuff?
You know, I actually ran into my old algebra professor the other day.
Oh, you did? Eh?
Yeah. He was all worried because his wife left him. I told him to stop worrying about X's and Y's up. That's what I said.
So Audi, this is a family vehicle. This is the SUV for Audi. We mentioned earlier, Audi saw, a gap in the market that other brands were, Range Rover and Jeep they had. So Audi decided to get into that 7-seater, that third row SUV. But it's still like, if I have a 7-seater, I grew up in a family of 6. This wouldn't work for us because realistically, when all the family's in here with 6, 1 seat left, the cargo space is not that large. So personally, I don't think it's for a larger family. I think it's great for maybe a family of 4, family of 5, but if you're going on a long trip, you just might have to pack light. So that's who I think the Audi's for. I don't know if there's any differing opinions or whatnot.
I can tell you, straight from the horse's mouth, there's actually a quote. It tells you who it is designed for. According to carshop.co, they say your average Audi driver is a confident character who describes himself as a leader. But on the flip side, he admits that sometimes this means he can be intolerant, impatient, and demanding. He likes to invest his money wisely, plus he values quality above all else, and he doesn't mind paying extra for it.
He sounds like a prick. Come on, there's got to be better people than that driving these cars.
So, Jared, remember when you asked our viewers to ask questions for us?
Yes, I do.
They delivered, my friend. I got some questions for you.
Okay,
if you
all
want
right.
to.
These are questions from our viewers.
Here we go. So thank you for asking these questions. And here we go. This is from BMX Dad Canada 72. He asks, does it drive more like an Atlas?
It drives, I guess, similar. It's Volkswagen, it's German. This has a bit more of a solid feel, I would say, right from the doors closing to even the way the steering works. I would say this is a bit more of a tuned vehicle rather than the Atlas, but a different vehicle altogether, and you're paying a premium for it.
Bob McGregor says, why is this a good car?
Well, as an investor and a leader, I say this car suits me just fine. And if I need a vehicle that kind of describes who I am without having to say much, then this is it. And that's why it's a good car.
I've got a question here from Matt Pick. Matt Pick would like to know, is it better than Atlas exec line for a family vehicle?
Matt Pick, that is a great question. Again, because it's an Audi, people are going to ask about the Atlas. For a family vehicle, dare I say, and I'm going to say it, I apologize, I would go with the Atlas, and I'll tell you for why. It has more space, and one of the main reasons is the way the engine in the front of the Q7 is put together. It's put in lengthwise, so from me to the front of the car, and that's why the hood is longer on this than it would be on an Atlas, and that's why there's a bit less space in this than an Atlas. Where Volkswagen, they take the engine and they put it sideways, so from the wheels the lengthwise goes, and that makes the hood smaller and allows the Atlas to have a bit more space for its passengers and luggage. So I would say if you're looking for a family vehicle, probably go with the Atlas. But if you got the dough and you want it, go for the Q7.
I can't believe you dared say that. How dare you say that? You dared. He who dares, my friend.
He who dares wins.
We got a question here from Grandad. It just says lose the Jared guy. Is what he.
It's not really a question. I don't think
It's not really a question.
I don't think he gets what we were asking.
No, but how are we doing back there, Grandad?
Fantastic.
Fantastic
Yeah.
stuff. A couple of fun facts about Audi
Please.
for you. Did you know that they were the first to use the dual clutch gearbox?
Really? Mm-hmm. That's an ever popular gearbox now. They still use it in some.
And also, they were the first to ever do the crash test. Crashed back in 1938. Now it's standard with everybody, but they just got the car and they just rolled it down a hill and crashed it into a wall.
Really?
In 1938.
1938, they did the first crash test. Mm-hmm. How did it go?
They crashed.
Wow, that's good. Wow. Successful test. Mm-hmm. So viewers, if you are interested in getting into a vehicle like this, we made reference to this being just under $79,000 for a starting price. If you're looking at the direct competitors, and this is mind-boggling, if you go with the Mercedes GLS, that's $111,000 starting price. If you go with the BMW X7, that's $116,000. Now you can go with the SQ7, which is a sportier version of this, real raw powered, everything better, but that's going to be $119,000. But it starts at $79,000 for the Q7. That's so much less.
Yeah.
I mean, that alone is worth buying the Q7. That's a lot of money.
A lot of money. Things are a lot more expensive these days. Hey, Grandad? How much did you pay for your first house?
£4,150.
That's a mortgage payment for some people these days. Wow. At pounds, right?
But that was 55 years ago.
You couldn't buy a house for that much these days. Or a car. Or even a mountain bike, probably.
Yeah.
Well, David, Audi offers what's called a mild hybrid. Not necessarily a full hybrid, but mild. Here to tell us more about that is none other than our friend, EV George. George?
Hello, how's it going?
Good. So what can you tell us about mild hybrids, George?
Mild hybrids are designed to recuperate energy during coasting and slowing down, and they re-inject that energy during acceleration. The Audi systems, they like to use 48 volts. 48 volts is very useful for a lot of reasons, but Mainly, it allows you to deliver that extra punch when you want that bit of acceleration. Also, you gain all the efficiencies that go with it, as in high-powered steering pumps and air conditioners and that sort of thing.
Well, there you have it. The mild hybrid. Better than I could have said it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, George.
We don't need a mild punch. I just give you a mild punch if I want you to go faster.
That's right. Who else is back there?
It's a party. It's a good job we got 7 seats.
Well, after 2 major model changes and a few facelifts later, I'm thinking of getting some work done myself. Audi has cracked the code on how to keep things similar, all while keeping things very successful. And the Q7 is no exception to that rule. Audi's working smarter, not necessarily harder. And I think Granddad's right. It's too nice, it's too comfortable, and it's too cheap. So with that, I give the 2025 Audi Q7 my hood slap of approval.
Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you again next time. Hey, where's Grandad anyway?
I don't know, he never got out of the car. A big thanks goes to our friends at Audi Kitchener-Waterloo for letting us use this 2025 Audi Q7. If you're in the market for this or any other Audi, go see them at 2350 Shirley Drive in Kitchener, Ontario.